knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
Let's continue investigating chordates. Looking once again at our chordate cladogram, we notice that all the remaining animals left to study are amniotes. That is, they are vertebrates with the presence of an amniotic buffer during development, in which are enclosed amniotic eggs. These could be shelled eggs, like with birds and crocodiles, or internal gestation, like most mammals and many snakes. There is also a layer of water-impermeable skin and a robust respiratory system that filters oxygen from air rather than water. They also have stronger jaws, high-pressure cardiovascular systems, water-conserving excretory systems, and an expanded brain. As a clade, the mammals do not have a very high species count, but they certainly have an extremely diverse array of shapes and forms. Among their ranks, we find the astoundingly massive blue whales, the extraordinarily diminutive Etruscan shrew, as well as numerous gliding forms like the sugar gliders, flying squirrels, and colugos, along with the powered flying bats, the only extant vertebrates outside of birds capable of powered flight. They also include unique forms like the platypus, giant anteater, numbot, and koala, along with familiar domesticated species like cows, pigs, horses, sheep, goats, cats, dogs, and of course, humans. In this tutorial, we will begin our exploration of the clade, starting with early synapsid and mammalian evolution. Then we will take a generalized look at the characteristics of extant mammals, and then a more detailed look at mammalian hair, glands, dentition, and diet, followed by an exploration of mammalian behaviors and social structures, and finally a brief survey of the diversity of the modern mammals. To study mammalian evolution, we need to look at the origin of the amniotes, which occurred during the Carboniferous period, when the giant semi-terrestrial amphibians were some of the dominant predators. During this time, a comparatively smaller clade of animals, known as the reptilomorphs, or reptile-like amphibians, began to diversify. Though they were diminutive compared to their amphibian counterparts, some of their descendants gave rise to the daughter clade of stem amniotes, which further diversified into the synapsids, sauropsids, and many extinct forms. Initially, the earliest synapsids, often collectively referred to as the pelycosaurs, and sometimes erroneously referred to as the mammal-like reptiles, even though they are not reptiles, dominated over their sister groups. One early carnivorous group gave rise to the therapsids, which in turn gave rise to the cynodonts. Though the Permian extinction wiped out the ancestral pelycosaurs and many therapsids, the cynodonts continued to diversify into the late Triassic, giving rise to Probainognathia, from which the Mammaliaformes evolved. These organisms rapidly diversified during the Jurassic and Cretaceous into many extinct forms, along with the ancestors of all extant monotremes, marsupial, and placental mammals. A noticeable trend in the evolution of the mammals is the strengthening of limbs that attach below the body rather than to the side, an increase in parental care, the development of endothermy, and the well-preserved and often studied development of the inner ear from bones associated with the jaw of their early amniotic ancestors. As a monophyletic group, all extant mammals share a range of characteristics. They are all bilaterally symmetrical, amniotic, endothermic, meaning they internally regulate their body temperatures, tetrapods that belong to the synapsid clade. They are noted for their unique inner ear, which includes 3 tiny bones known collectively as the ossicles and individually as the malleus, incus, and stapes, along with their single occipital condyle, where reptiles and birds have 2, and lower jaw that consists of only 1 bone, while the jaws of the reptiles and birds contain many. Though they are named for their mammary glands, which are prominent in females and reduced or absent in males, they have a range of other unique glands, such as the sweat, scent, and sebaceous glands. Morphologically, they are easily distinguished from other amniotes due to their bodies that are often covered in hair, that contain fleshy external ears, known as pinna, complex dentition, unique skulls, highly developed brains and olfactory senses, lungs with high surface area, a 4-chambered heart, secondary palate, and use of metanephric kidneys that usually open into a bladder. However, the urinary system isn't often thought of as one of the most unique aspects of mammals. That distinction is often placed on their hair, which consists of 3 layers. Those are the medulla, or pith, at the center, the cortex with pigment granules, and the outer cuticle composed of flattened scales. Mammalian hair grows from a hair follicle that is sunk into the dermis of the skin. These hairs grow continuously due to rapid cellular division of cells in the follicle that push the hair shaft upward, thus killing those cells that move with the shaft, and filled with keratin, meaning that mammalian hair, or true hair, is composed of dead keratin-packed epidermal cells. This hair generally comes in two types when forming a mammal's pelage, or fur coat. There is the soft underhair for insulation that functions by trapping a layer of air against the skin, and the coarse and longer guard hair for protection and coloration. Regardless of the hair type, when a single hair reaches a specific length, it stops growing, and that final length varies by hair type, species of mammal, and sometimes even individual animal, hence long-haired and short-haired domestic animals, and the fact that some humans have hair that grows much longer than others. Often, that hair remains in its follicle until new growth starts and it falls out. These hairs have been modified to serve a range of purposes, from the bristles of hogs or the spines of porcupines to the modified hair follicles that produce the reptile-like scales of the pangolin. Many mammals also have sensory hairs known as vibrissae, or whiskers, that provide tactile sense at the slightest movement and are especially pronounced in burrowing and nocturnal mammals. In addition to hair, mammals are also noted for their numerous integumentary glands that primarily fall into four categories: sweat, scent, sebaceous, and mammary. The sweat glands are tubular, highly coiled, and occur over the body surface. They are often classified into two types. First, the eccrine glands, which secrete a watery fluid that, if it evaporates, helps in drawing heat away from the skin, thus cooling it, which often occurs in hairless regions such as foot pads, though in the horses and most primates, they are found throughout the body. Apocrine glands, which are larger, open into the hair follicles and develop during puberty, where in humans they are restricted to the armpits, pubic area, breasts, and auditory canals, where they secrete a milky fluid that dries on the skin to form a film. The scent glands occur in nearly all mammals, though their location and potency varies widely. They are often used for communication with members of the same species and for marking territories. In humans, they are most dense on the forehead, face, and scalp, while in dogs they are located on either side of the anus. The sebaceous glands are oil-producing skin glands that are found throughout all areas of the skin, except the palms of the hands and soles of the feet, often around hair follicles where they are known to expel a greasy mixture known as sebum. Finally, the mammary glands are what give the mammals their name. They occur in a functional form on all female mammals and often in a rudimentary form on males. They are essential for milk production, a secretion provided by mammalian mothers to their offspring that is essential in the growth and development of juveniles. Moving on, extant mammals are considered to have heterodont dentition, a word that refers to teeth becoming differentiated for specialized functions, rather than uniform or homodont dentition. Unlike most vertebrates that continuously replace their teeth throughout their lives, mammals grow just two sets of teeth. The first of these is the deciduous, or milk teeth, which are replaced by a permanent set in adulthood, though molars are never replaced. Speaking of which, mammalian teeth are differentiated into four types: incisors, with simple crowns and sharp edges, used mainly for snipping; canines, with long conical crowns, specialized for piercing; and then molars and premolars, with compressed crowns and one or more cusps, used for shearing, crushing, or grinding. A quick look at some representative skulls shows how much dentition can reveal about a mammal's eating behavior. Mammalian behaviors range from simplistic forms of foraging, or searching for food, which mammals must do often since they are endotherms that maintain their own body temperature, to extraordinarily complex, multi-tiered social interactions that involve a range of symbols and interpretations exhibited by no other animals. Many social interactions are communicated through vocalizing, which serves many purposes, including mating rituals, as warning calls, to indicate food sources, and for social purposes among peers and relatives. Though some mammals are largely solitary, such as the platypus, many exist in groups of fission-fusion societies that change frequently in its size and composition, such as spider monkeys, elephants, lions, and dolphins. Others form small to massive groups or herds, and still others, such as the naked mole rat, the Damaraland mole rat, and humans, are truly eusocial, the highest level of sociality that involves brood care, overlapping generations, and a division of labor. Humans in particular take this form of sociality to another level and are now found on every continent on Earth. Finally, in terms of classification, modern living mammals are divided first into two clades, the egg-laying monotremes, of which only 5 extant species exist, and the live-birthing therians. The latter are further broken down into the pouched marsupials, which consist of 7 orders, and 19 to 21 orders of placental mammals, depending on which classification system is used, that include about 95% of all mammalian diversity. But before we do that, let's get some more information on the mammalian body systems. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.